Thank you so much, Andrea. If anyone would like to read more or you're curious about those erotica poems, her book is on that back table. Up next, we have Jenna Martin Opperman. She has a BA in English Literature from the University of Texas at Austin and an MFA in Poetry from New England College. Despite being published in a wide variety of poetry journals and magazines, she prefers the thrill and terror of performing before a live audience, which is about to happen. She works and plays with the printed word every day as an English teacher and as the owner of Red Planet Audiobooks and as the co-founder of INF Press. Her poetry comes from a place of ferocity, of playfulness, of emotional urgency, and of hope. She loves whiskey, revelations, and naps. Jenna.
Thank you all for being here. It's actually more intimidating to read to a small audience because then I'm going to be staring at each and every one of you.
And we're going to step up.
I love it. As I was preparing tonight, I realized that I've been in a really horrifying place emotionally in my life, and so when you just feel like all you do is give yourself, and you feel so vulnerable and awful, and that's sort of where I am, to be honest. So thank y'all for being here, and I tried to pick things that wouldn't make me cry. So we are going to start with a kind of liberation. She likes the word whore, how it starts solid and sharp at the very back of her tongue, how her mouth forms a perfect O slightly before the extinguishing exhalation of held breath. Likes the way it jumps out on the page and reminds her of when her body was sport and pastime, as cleverly constructed as a ship on the highest of the 7 seas. Likes the way she finds herself crafting meaning in the tightening of his muscles, in the look he gives her, intense yet vacant, a mirror, a kind of punishment. Likes the way her most recent lover called her that very thing minutes before she caught him wide-eyed and incredulous in the midst of a tedious betrayal. She likes the way she can make it do what she wants without ever giving herself away, without the possibility of original heartbreak at 4 years or 14 years. She likes the way only men have spoken to her as if she were their sin or weakness, how women instead feast on the goodwill of her hips and the slow burn of fire. She likes the word whore, how in her mouth it tastes exactly like butch and bitch, like cunt and queer, likes how it both conforms and rebels, a mirror. Thank you. Words of advice. I have so many words of advice, but we're going to start from this. Beware, child, of the often microscopic inseam. Want to fuck him one side, want to be him other. Listen to that lark in your ear at first light twitching. There's an unmistakable reality in dawn as it diminishes. Let your silence fill the gaps in a conversation about Ellis and Wallace. Tragedy is no small feat, they say. Be more specific, as in, this could have very well been me. Somewhere there is a woman who is more still than I. Go to her, sit in her rocking chair, take up her knitting. Beware, child, of the copious black holes in the universe. The unruliness of his thick hair isn't the only way through. Take heed. What could be more important than sitting next to you? Be more specific, as in, I still dream of your lilac decay. A stream of facts doesn't always predicate knowledge. By now, we all know what happened in Tiananmen Square. Beware, child, you don't have to believe him to know he's real. Somewhere there is a woman, a rocking chair, some knitting. Be more specific. The lark shares his secrets and then leaves. Take heed. Let your silence fill the gaps. Child, be still. Okay, this one's really fun because I wrote it after I got in this big fight with someone, which I love. It's my favorite. I still don't like her. She's the only one I don't like ever. All right. I like everybody. I don't like her. Okay. And she's not here, so everything's good. At odds regarding the meanings of things. Sometimes a gravy bowl is a mere gravy bowl, but mostly it's a boat full of human cargo aching for a new world. And your hat, a government-subsidized housing complex. I saw a young mother and her 3 children emerge from it just the other day. And we could analyze why the tablecloth is actually a sail and my teeth a dam holding in the freshness of the bouquet. But no, you're right, sometimes a thing is just well itself. No effervescence, no aplomb, no wily transformation from one form to another. But I choose not to live there in that place. Instead, the lamb is rarely dinner, but acts as sacrifice to all the dreaming I've ever done. I will no longer apologize for loving the stone or the forces that wear it down to smoothest pebble at the bottom of the brook. And when I say jump, sometimes it means go find a cliff and lean forward, and other times a plain request for movement within your own heart. I come to people this way too, with and without expectation of permanence. I choose to welcome the lamb's sacrifice as I choose to accept my own carnage in a place where nothing is to the touch as it is to the vapor of the mind. I live inside the bath salts knowing their purpose is dissolution. I squawk at the crow because he's promised never to forget my face. Regardless, I'll admit that yes, sometimes a thing is merely a thing, but mostly, dear, it's the whisper of it. I totally won the argument, by the way. Just saying. My little universe. All right. Your vice-like hands. I couldn't stop you, not yet. Didn't have that sharp, articulate expression. Didn't recognize that being quiet was akin to death. Slowly, I recall each pressure upon my chest, how difficult it can be to breathe when a man requires something of my body. Today, I am furious with 6 men who remind me of you, the manner in which you swaggered off as if I were already far behind you. Such terror is not just in the historical nature of a considerable occasion. It can be present within the tone and cadence of a man I find to be an utter joy. It can make me shriek in panic at the off chance he'll share your vice-like hands, that he too will call it love. It's a cheery one, sorry. All right, so 3 more, and we're done. Thanks y'all for helping, so I'm not gonna cry, I promise. The man she wants. She believes she is easily forgotten, dissipation, the vaguest notion of warmth on your palm. But she comes at you like foghorn, wanting a gaudy description of your eventual subversion. However, can you stand there in her doorway as if keeping the entire house from caving in? You may come to her every week for a year, become foundation, but she will remember best the day you arrived late because your daughter's sick or tire flat. You will be punished for being the man she wants, your body a temple unmarred by riotous villagers. I'm so done with this book. I hate reading it. Okay, so two newer things that make me happy. Okay, so first one is My Kind of Crazy. And I wrote this poem after listening to an On Being podcast, which is my favorite podcast ever. And Alonda Patan was talking about how in order to create really intimate relationships, we need to be talking about how we're crazy and not trying to talk about how we're awesome. And so I took that to heart. It was super awesome. And I met this person a couple weeks ago, and before we went out, I sent him this poem. And he still wanted to meet me, which was a little frightening. So, I don't know, maybe it's a good thing to do. So you all should try it, it's really fun. And if you don't write poems, just like, I don't know, write a memo, write a letter, something like that. It was really great. My Kind of Crazy. It's the 3:06 a.m., The Nation reading by blue light crazy. Detached in the middle of a meaningful moment crazy. It's the will charm the socks off your mother crazy, let dogs lick my face crazy, hold a crying baby for hours crazy. I'm crazy because I can't sit still, and I want to sit still, and I'll never be everything you think I should want to be crazy. I'm batshit crazy. Talk to myself crazy, make up songs crazy. Doesn't take anything personally anymore crazy, even when it's terribly personal crazy. I can't seem to cry unless I'm furious crazy. I'm engulfment and abandonment carnival ride crazy. My crazy smells like freshly baked bread, looks good from a safe distance, has the words to justify it kind of crazy. My crazy has taken a long while to ferment. It's taught me how to look at your crazy and say, so goddamn beautiful, that crazy. My crazy rebels because it can. It's a back alley cat screeching crazy. My crazy gets lost crazy, but arrives on time and in my Sunday best crazy. My crazy loves ideas, but not details crazy, hard to pin down crazy. I may stare on the subway and forget my manners crazy. I'll travel the world with you and pack only a toothbrush and a book crazy. I'll die like this crazy, best intentions crazy, lip gloss crazy, stars in my eyes crazy, unfinished business crazy. All right, last one. Thank you all again. And lots of awesome books. And 20% off poetry tomorrow and the rest of April. So, you might want to get your ideas going over there after this. What waking proves? I had no idea the vastness of your gaze on my shoulder blade that morning. You looked at me the way I now look at my children, in horror at the possibility of flooding. You have never really taken hold of me. Each night that we spent with my head on your chest was practice, a way of trying on our simple bodies. And while dreaming about you last night, I recalled the comfort of your thighs still underneath me like a buoy in that same deplorable storm. The waking only proved I have always made the kind of mistakes the body feels, a void, a panic, a naked regret. All day I've carried around the memory of us, your solid ground, my bird in perpetual flight. Oh, and I lied. I have one more because I'm going to do what Andrea did and end with the last poem in my book. It's like, I don't know, it just seems like, yeah, I need closure, people. I need a lot of closure. Okay, suddenly on the trucks. Someone is always better at math, and thinner, taller, scrubbed clean of debris. She may have soda bottle glasses, but I guarantee she attended the Berklee College of Music, comes from money. 4 instruments and a voice like honey is all she has, you say. There's nothing superlative about me. I have 5 funnier friends who know more puns than I. Every time I step out of my car, I await a pedestrian coming towards me and an elegant peacoat and pearls. You see, I am bellyache today. I see what you won't because no one talks where I come from, and all the men on my side of town fled the scene as soon as they heard the sirens. I am always alone in my graciousness, in my charm. But someday I will see you on a train during rush hour. Our eyes will meet as I am bumped up from behind when we stop suddenly on the tracks. You will know, as I understand, shattering is gradual. Any parting words?
No.
No parting words?
Not really.
Okay. No. Thanks for coming. Buy books. Not necessarily ours, but buy books because they're awesome.
Yeah.